As you are no doubt aware, the Hunter Bureau, one of our bureaus of state, fulfills two important tasks on behalf of the Dun imperial dynasty. The first is sourcing rare spirit plants, beasts and hidden natural curiosities scattered across the Empire's wild borderlands. The second acts as a global bulwark against supernatural threats that regular cultivators cannot contain. As citizens of the Great Dun realm, all folk ought to pay close mind to the chaos unfolding across the Eastern Ocean territories, where the Emperor's authority is constantly defied, and the corrupt tentacles of the Azure Astral Authority still grip local hunter bureaus tight. I have read dozens of verified, credible records documenting a horrifying new trend: children as young as 12 are being pressed into bureau service. If these youths were talented noble heirs trained in top sects, it might be tolerable, but they are destitute commoners barely reaching golden core, with no wealth, lineage or powerful backing. Worse still, countless unqualified minor nobles buy their way into deputy bureau chief posts through bribes. Most alarming of all, a growing number of these low-ranking staff practice a disgraced indigenous cultivation path the eighth volume of my research fully dissects. As a historian who has studied state institution reform, I admit restructuring laws can serve a realm well, witness the astrology and authority bureaus as successful models. Yet I must record this warning for future generations: allowing untitled, unskilled commoners and bribed nobles to seize official rank will bring only ruin. Indigenous physique cultivators, who reject mainstream spiritual arts, work against imperial interests, and lack noble patronage have no place within state service. Excerpt from a treatise on Eastern Azure Great World, in 100 volumes by scholar Qin Chiu. Jun Arai sat on rough gray stone in misty pre-dawn darkness, sheltered beside a tiny mountain cave she claimed for overnight rest. Dawn had yet to paint the sky, and she kept watch, listening to the valley's endless jungle noise as she waited for fog to thin enough to travel. The narrow, steep gorges of Yin Eclipse's high valleys were universally loathed, humid, airless, walled by dense ancient trees strung with glimmering spirit mist that swallowed all long-distance vision. Until light burned through the haze, progress was impossible. Caw-caw, caw-caw. A harsh bird cry cut through damp silence. June twisted sharply, scanning the canopy for the source, only catching faint streaks of glowing plumage hidden between leaves. Everyone knew Yin Eclipse's mountain range carried a universal suppression field that capped every cultivator's power at peak golden core. Few civilians understood the suppression extended far beyond mere realm locking. Human bodies reverted to mortal fragility here: cold, exhaustion and thirst weighed on travelers as if they possessed no cultivation at all. External spiritual chi could not seep into flesh to replenish energy, only rare pills and secret ancestral techniques could restore strength. Worst of all, soul sense, the cultivator's most vital scouting tool, ceased functioning almost entirely, save for brief, dangerous bursts triggered by violent supernatural energy. This combined burden created a strange edge effect along every gorge's perimeter. The land itself seemed sentient, feeding on human anxiety, dragging wanderers into spirals of dread that stripped focus from their surroundings. A second bird call echoed, and June exhaled a quiet, relieved sigh: only ordinary forest fowl, no predatory mimic beasts lurking nearby. Her gaze drifted to ancient runic wards carved into cave-mouth rock. Two-layered illusions hid her campsite and repelled small wild creatures. A third defensive formation hung above the entrance, its power nearly drained after years of neglect. The ward could block a handful of minor monster strikes, but June refused to test its limits. Predators here almost never hunted alone. After several minutes of silent observation confirming no hidden threats, she stretched stiff limbs and stepped deeper into the cave. The hollow housed a crumbling ancient shrine repurposed as a temporary way station by the Yin Eclipse Hunter Pavilion. A simple stone altar jutted from the cave wall, carved with an old bearded elder clutching jar and spear, flanked by weathered stone pillars and tiny alcoves holding empty incense bowls. No chi stones rested anywhere, another flaw she would log in her mission report once she returned to Jade Willow Village. She knelt beside a natural spring pool hewn by shrine builders, splashing frigid mountain water over her mud-streaked face. Her reflection showed an 18-year-old girl with exhausted dark eyes ringed with shadow, caked dirt streaking her cheeks from yesterday's mountain trek. She brushed tangled brown hair back, then turned to her storage talisman to unpack sparse breakfast supplies. Honestly, she grumbled aloud, sorting fire-attuned chi stones into a shallow ash bowl left by prior travelers. The mission brief said those Ha clan boys were reckless opportunists, but couldn't they leave even a scrap of supplies behind? The chi stone ignited smokeless flame. June tossed salt-wrapped spirit fish onto embers, then filled a clay pot with spring water, tossing in wild spirit greens she'd foraged the day before, plus restorative mushrooms and dried egg noodles. A pinch of flavoring herbs softened the bitter forest taste of her makeshift meal. The way station's empty stores traced directly to her current assignment, a mandatory search and rescue contract for 3 young Ha clan nobles. Local gossip claimed the three had earned minor fame hunting low-tier spirit beasts in Yin Eclipse's outer valleys near West Flower-picking town. Powerful officials had pulled strings to add the rescue to the pavilion's end-of-month quota. Only 7 days remained to clear all assigned missions, or the branch would face heavy imperial tax penalties. Every detail of the task reeked of noble political scheming, and June tried to push the bitter thought aside as she waited for food to cook. While the pot simmered, she pulled a stack of tattered cultivation manuals from her talisman, purchased cheaply at West Flower Town Street Market for 2 spirit stones. She'd hoped to uncover hidden formation or soul intent tricks hidden within cheap civilian texts. The top volume bore the title On the Paradigms of Eastern Azure's Supreme Cultivation, Volume 3. Its blank flyleaf marked with elegant calligraphy from a previous owner. My Lou, in this world of ours, we're all trying to get a bit stronger, reach a bit further. June muttered in dry amusement. Checking for hidden residual spiritual intent woven into the ink, nothing lingered. She flipped to the forward, freezing the moment she spotted the author's name, Qin Qiu, the same arrogant scholar whose biased imperial essay she'd read hours prior. The urge to toss the manual into cooking fire flared, yet she forced herself to set it aside and grab a second, more neutral text titled A Discussion on Cultivation, Its History and Methods in Eastern Azure.